Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about and explaining what the active guard is and its role in Usyk's dominating performance over Anthony Joshua. Now, your active guard is anything that you do in front of your opponent that is not exactly punching. Now, it can be punching. There are theories about, my personal theory is that anything that's not a knockout punch is a way to control the line, like a feint or a probe. And anything that you do in front of your opponent that's kind of not to knock him out is part of your active guard. So feinting, slipping, giving your opponent a probe, seeing how they react, right? And what you're looking to do is find a way to get into a position that your opponent is not ready to defend. Okay, so from this position here, Oleksandr Usyk cannot hit Anthony Joshua with his left hand. Okay, his weight is going to be, it's on the front foot, but he's in a back foot position as his head should be on the back half of his line. But when he slips across the line here, he has changed positions. Okay, now one of the fundamental ideas about this is what shoulder you're going to be guarding the line with. When you're on the back foot, you're going to be controlling the line with your front shoulder. When you're on the front foot, you change positions, and now this shoulder is closer to guarding the line. That means that also you're going to be conducting attacks or controls with the hand that is closest to the line. Okay, this is a very, very, very important idea, and we're going to take a look at how that kind of affects. But what we want to focus on is from this position, with the right shoulder forward, Oleksandr Usyk cannot hit Anthony Joshua with his left hand. So he has to change positions and bring his left shoulder forward. The active guard is your ability to do this in front of your opponent freely, right? You do this, and what happens is your opponent has to react to these positional changes because, again, from this position, Anthony Joshua cannot be hit by the left hand, but from this position he can, and he knows this. So when he gets to this position, as Usyk tries to cross the line and get his weight to the front foot, Joshua tries to control him here with this left hand, right? So Usyk sees that, but what he sees also is that when he gets into this position on the front foot through his active guard, this is a very similar position that he would be in if he had thrown his straight left hand, because this is the position he needs to be in to land it by bringing his shoulder forward, okay? So as he goes through this position, he sees that Anthony Joshua is looking to control that space with a lead hand with his jab and not a right hand. So he parries it, and now he's going to make that same move and go from the back foot to the front foot in a slipping fashion, but he's also going to be doing it with a left hand to the body, okay? Now notice, I just want you to pay attention to the fact that that position here is very similar to this position here, okay? And Oleksandr Usyk is able to check how Anthony Joshua is going to control the space between him and Usyk by simply slipping into that position to see if there are any punches coming. Because when you're an experienced fighter, this is going to be a very similar movement to the shoulder feint timing. It's something that fighters like Floyd Mayweather are so very famously good at defending. It's something that you learn in the amateurs. When people bring their weight to the line, they usually like to strike, okay? Because in theory, it's very dangerous. But when you're a very, very, very advanced striker, you have very, very, very excellent technique, and you can move freely like butter through the air, right? Like Oleksandr Usyk can. You can move into these dangerous positions and easily slide out of them, easily parry, and control the basic attacks that come to those positions, right? So Joshua, big, massive man, looks to attack that position, and Oleksandr Usyk is fine controlling that jab with his front hand and moving off the line. He's fine. He's comfortable being in what a lot of people would perceive as a dangerous position. And that's because he practices with his active guard and fighting out of multiple positions. Now, the reason that this is important, again, because your boxing stance is dynamic. Everything that you do in the ring is in relation to your opponent, okay? Now, if you guys would like an interesting look at that, I have some partner drills in Vimeo package that you can purchase. It's 4 hours of partner drills and demos, and I think there's about maybe, I want to say, around 25 or 30 different drills that you'll do, and you'll learn how to interact with your opponent's lead hand. You'll learn how to interact with their jab. You'll learn how to pendulum step. You'll learn how to do all the stuff that Usyk did to Joshua. You'll learn the rhythm and the timing. Essentially, you'll learn all of getting on the line and off the line in combat through this package and this 4-hour instructional video with 2 beginners. They had very little boxing experience, and they have I did this course with them through Patreon, so they would send in me videos, and then I would teach them what they were doing wrong so that they could do it better. And they have a testimonial that they did, their own words or their own stuff or whatever, and tell a little bit about their experience if you want to check it out. So just check out the thing. There's another trailer that you can watch that'll be about like 5-minute video, them talking about some of the things that they learned and this and that. Anyway, it's really great stuff. It'll teach you all the stuff that Anthony Joshua is supposed to have learned before getting in the ring with Oleksandr Usyk. But again, Anthony Joshua has only fought one southpaw before, right? And this was not the one he wanted to get practice on. But good for him. He's already looking forward to the rematch. And to be honest, I think that's probably my favorite quality of a fighter. I really, really, really respect that he's already thinking about getting back in the ring. So anyway, getting back to this film study, the active guard, by putting himself in a similar position, he's feinting, in theory, his left hand to the head or his left hand to the body. But he's also able to see how his opponent's going to react, so that if he feints it again and his opponent reacts in a similar situation or a similar manner, he can counter him, right? The idea of it turning it into a probe, right? A way to start manipulating your opponent's positions, okay? So, the idea of him being able to freely move from this position on the back foot, even though his head is centered toward the front foot, most of his weight is on the back foot, and then moving to the front foot, here, through his active guard, the idea is that he can hit him and change positions, but Joshua is not in a position to defend the left hand to the body once Usyk is already getting his weight to the front foot here. Okay? Usyk did not respond in a way that was going to prevent Usyk from being able to move into this position or let this strike go. And because of the fact that Anthony Joshua, as you can see here, he doesn't really change positions. He's only looking to control the space with his lead hand, right? And that doesn't work against the highest level fighters. You have to be able to control the space with 2 hands, as we see Usyk moving into his position 1 and then threatening his opponent with his rear hand, something that Joshua very, very seldomly did in the course of this fight. Now, we're going to take a look at another clip. Again, Usyk doing the same thing, checking the position, and look at how Joshua responds. He tries to get to a similar position to where he can defend it, but he doesn't really get his weight over to the front foot. He doesn't start to guard the line with his rear shoulder, right? He doesn't change positions. It's a much, much more compromised version of what Usyk is trying to do, but he's having a very difficult time managing all of Usyk's active guard, all the positions, how quickly Usyk can move through them. So Usyk sees that nothing comes, and now he's able to feint him, and he knows that, again, once he gets to that position, there won't be any punches when he gets there, right? So he's able to, again, find that punch for free and let it go. Using his active guard, and again, because Joshua's not in a position to throw a punch to that zone. See how he has to readjust right before the clip ends? Now we're going to take a look at another clip here. And this is a really, really interesting clip. Again, Usyk's going to be checking that outside, and Joshua doesn't respond well. Right? He doesn't change positions. He doesn't put himself in a position where he's going to be able to defend the body shot. So what does Usyk do? He comes forward, controls, feints him, and then shows him the body shot again. And again, Joshua is in a very, very similar position. He's not reacting well. He's not countering. He's not letting the punch go. So Usyk says, okay, cool. That's fine. Continues to go forward, control the space, feint, and then finds another body shot right away. Because again, Joshua's not countering. He's not attacking that position. So Usyk knows that this position is safe. Okay? By use, or by looking through his active guard, he's been able to determine exactly how Joshua is going to react every single time Joshua gets his weight to, or every time Usyk gets his weight to the front foot. But Joshua's a smart fighter. He didn't get here by accident. This was no accident that he got here, and he's fighting Usyk for the world title. So Usyk coming forward, feinting, right? And now Usyk's like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to move into that position so many times in front of this big man because he's pretty fast and he's pretty smart too. So as Usyk starts crossing the line, Joshua tries to control the space. And Usyk's like, oh, okay, I won't punch this time. Now he moves back, and now he starts crossing the line again, and he checks the position, and this time Joshua says, no, No more body shots. If you throw a body shot from this position here, I'm going to catch you. And he's making an adjustment and trying to catch him too. Now again, in a few minutes' time, after Usyk moves into the front foot position enough times and Joshua throws punches at it and nothing happens, Joshua's going to realize that he can't throw punches every single time Usyk feints him with the front foot position. He can't throw a punch every single time because he's going to get tired. He can't throw a punch every single time because he's going to walk into a counter. He can't throw a punch every single time because Usyk is also too fast. So eventually, Usyk with his active guard, naturally, just like any fight, we're going to move into these positions. We're going to feint, and we're going to check these positions again that our opponent has countered us previously, and we're going to see if he's ready to counter. And we're going to see where his weight is. We're going to see what he's trying to do. We're going to ask him a question with our active guard. We're going to feint. We're going to probe. And as we change positions, we're going to learn what our opponent is trying to do during that moment. What are they thinking in that moment? Not what are they capable of. We've all seen Mayweather throw that right-hand pull counter a million times. But he doesn't throw it every time. And we all know exactly what position he's going to be throwing it from. Right? We've all seen it a million times. Everyone's body works that way. Everyone's mind works that way too. We all think that way. So even though someone's capable of A, B, C, and D, even though they're incredible athletes, even though they're incapable, when they hit the heavy bag, they're like this and they're like that. And there's this quote this one time, this guy was fighting Mike Tyson and they're talking about him. And yeah, he looks like Sugar Ray Leonard in the ring. Or in training, and he does this and he does that and he does, But just because someone's capable of all of those things doesn't mean that they're going to be able to do them, that they're ready to execute them, that they're mentally prepared. It's not all about just muscle memory and reacting. It's where your mind is, what you're setting up. And for the most part, everyone's pretty honest about it. You're always going to know what someone's thinking because they're always going to be trying to do it to you. And that's why people walk into dumb shit sometimes. That's why sometimes they get feinted and they're like, oh, a guy might be dominating a fight, right? Who was that guy that Julian Jackson knocked out? Harold Graham? I think that's what his name was. He was beating that guy's butt, right? He was kicking his ass. And then, he got caught slipping one time and the fight's over, right? Anyway, fighting is dynamic, okay? You always got to be asking questions. You always got to be feinting. You always got to be probing. You always got to be using your active guard to look for answers. And if you watch the fight with Usyk and Joshua, there's never a time at which Oleksandr Usyk is happy with the information that he has about his opponent. He is always looking for more. He's always wanting to know exactly what Joshua's thinking because he knows that Joshua is a competitor. He knows that this guy's a lifelong athlete. His chosen style of, making a living, right, is through competition. That these guys are not just going to roll over and die and quit, right, and let you just walk all over them. They're going to think about traps. They're going to think about ways to react. They're going to think about ways to stop you from getting into the positions that are causing you the most amount of damage. And that's where your active guard, again, is going to really shine because you're going to be able to feint and probe and use your active guard to exploit their next tendencies too. Anyway, if you guys like film studies like this, I go on all kinds of rants like this on Patreon. It's $10 a month. There's probably 500 videos by now. And the beginning, if you go all the way back, there are tons and tons and tons of training videos of me teaching a lot of beginners and teaching people how to throw their first punches and work the heavy bag, and beginners working the double end bag and shadow box. And, we'll talk a lot about theory, and, you get all the way up to pendulum boxing and cool stuff like that. And all teaching and all coaching and all training and lots of sparring in the beginning too. Again, tons and tons and tons of film studies and rants and crazy stuff and whatever. A lot of fun stuff, but also the full Usyk and Joshua film study is on there. Well, not yet. Only the first 6 rounds. I haven't even actually seen the rest of the fight yet. Don't tell anyone I said that. Jesus. I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. Yeah, I know. I fell asleep. It was a long day. But I'm watching it. I'm getting through. I hear that it went pretty much like I thought it was. So, anyway, if you're looking for coaching, one-on-one coaching, no matter what level you're at, no matter where you are, and you're looking for drills, you're looking for ways to improve, you're looking for ways to get better, I promise you I can help you become the fighter that you want to be. It's $50 to sign up, $50 a month. Yeah, it's personalized videos. There'll be videos directly for you. And when I get you caught up to wherever I have group things that I'm doing online with a group of people that I'm always working with and teaching and coaching. And I can share videos with you guys through there too. When you guys get caught up and, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. And some of my guys are going to be starting to have some fights. And hopefully I'll be able to show them on YouTube. Hopefully they'll be okay with it, me putting them on YouTube and showing you guys. And you can see what they're working on and stuff like that. And yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Patreon and check out my Vimeo stuff. Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys.